Alright, hello everyone. We're coming to you live from the Northern California section of the PCT. We're at mile 1259 and a little bit behind on video updates, so I'm going to start with the latest, one of the later sections that I've done, and that's section L. And section L, of course, always referring to my notes, is Donner Summit to Sierra City. And this is a kind of short section at 38 miles, and so today I thought I'd give you guys a little bit of bonus, and I'm going to show you the hammock setup I'm using currently for my thru hike. There's only one piece that I'm going to change back out when I get it back, and that's my tarp, but we'll talk about that when we get there. Section L, like I said, 38 miles. It's from Donner Summit to Sierra City, and day 76. Woke up at Donner Pass, and at Donner Pass we stayed at the Donner Ski Ranch. They have a little annex building where they let hikers stay, and it's right beside their restaurant where they have really good food, big screen TVs, Wi-Fi, and you also get a free beer or soda just for being a PCT hiker. It's really close to the trail. There's really no need for myself or anyone in my group to go to Truckee once we found that. And when we came out of Donner Pass, it was more of the same story, walking through more snowfields, and this section after Donner Pass was a little bit of ridge walking, and the wind was really bad the day we came out. It was a really cold wind, and that led into probably one of the coldest nights that I'd had in a while. And it didn't freeze, but you know, compared to the little bit warmer weather we were getting from being a little bit lower in elevation, it was pretty cold. And so the next day we got up, and that would have been day 77, and that was the day that we were going into Sierra City. We had about 19 miles to go, but Sierra City's at really low elevation. It's 4,000 and something feet from where we were going over Donner Pass, and so it was a big day of hardly any snow on the trail, and you're going downhill, and so we pretty much did really well that day. We got into Sierra City about 1:30, and we ate the 1-pound hamburger at the Sierra Country Store. Luau Larry's Kick-Ass Deli is the name of the restaurant inside the store. Larry makes 1-pound burgers from scratch. They're not frozen, and it was really delicious. And Sierra City, we went and got our resupply boxes, and then we looked for lodging, and we went to a place called Harrington's. It's kind of like a place that's got cabins. They have a trout farm, and they also have a restaurant in Harrington's, and so we went and ate at kind of a fancy restaurant. It's really good at Harrington's, and we stayed there until the next day. And then the next day we went back to the country store when it opened and got a 2.5-pound breakfast burrito. And Larry makes these basically from the meat that he has left over in his meat counter, so it varies where you're going to get from day to day. And when we got ours, it had eggs, bacon, roast beef, jalapenos, pepperoncinis, hash browns, and then once he made the burrito, he actually deep fried the burrito. It was really good, but it was really hard to hike out of Sierra City after you ate that 2.5-pound breakfast burrito. And with those 2 days, that's the section, the 38-mile section. And so since this video is going to be a little short, I decided to go over with you guys what I'm currently using for my hammock setup for my thru hike. And hammock setup, what are you going to start with? Start with the hammock. This is my hammock right here, and it's Dutchware's half zip. It's made by Dutch, and it's forest green. This is the Hexon material. I use 1.0. It's pretty light. And you notice on the half zip, just got the zipper on one side. I have a Chameleon too, where it has a double zippers and you can take the net completely off, but I never felt the need to take the button net off, even when it's cold and there are no bugs. It provides my minimal amount of windbreak. And inside my hammock, you guys can see, this is just a ridgeline organizer that I made. This is a cheap inflatable pillow from Amazon. I really like that to go back here on the back of my neck. And a top quilt that I'm using now, or sleeving quilt that I'm using now and will be using for the rest of the PCT, This is an Enlightened Equipment Revelation 950 down, and I got mine wide and long. I really like the extra girth in the quilt. It's really nice to wrap around you, and you'll see me swatting. The mosquitoes are notoriously bad in the section we're in right now, and they're just getting worse. So we'll get up and finish the tour. This is my underquilt. The tag's on the other side. It's made by Hammock Gear. It's a Hammock Gear Phoenix 3/4, 950 down, and I really like this 3/4 underquilt. And what I have to go with the underquilt is got the pillow to go behind my head, and then over here I use this pad in my Gossamer Gear Gorilla and put it down in the foot box, and that keeps my feet and the back of my legs warm when it's cooler at night. Sometimes I don't use it. And for the hammock suspension, this right here is called the Button Link suspension. It's made by Humminbird Hammocks. You can get both of this pair for like 12 or 15 bucks, and it goes through the end channel of your sewed-in hammock, and it attaches around to their tree strap combo, which is what this is. I think it's about $30 or $35 for both of them, and it comes up to the whoopee sling, and it's attached to the tree strap. This is a really good setup. There's a few places that trees have been too big, or it's been too big of a span where I haven't been able to use it, but for the most part I've been able to find something. And covering everything up right now is the Superfly tarp from War Bonnet. And as you can see, this is a big tarp. I really like it. It's a little heavy. The reason I'm using it right now is because my Hammock Gear tarp with doors had a little spot on it, and they're fixing the spot right now, and then they're going to send me my other tarp back, and I can't wait because I'll lose about 10 ounces. And as you can see on all my tarps, the line I use is Zing It. I've used smaller line. It doesn't really work for me. Get it on a rock or something and it'll scrape through, and then you'll break your line. And the stakes that I use for my tarp, and I have used for a while. Let me get one out. Are these Z-Packs carbon fiber stakes. I didn't have any issues with them on the AT. On the PCT, soil was really rocky, and so I've broken a few of the tips off. I just got a few extras. Z-Packs actually sent me a few for free, which was nice. And with that, it's pretty much my hammock setup. PCT through hike, my AT through hike, the setup was really similar with the items that I had. So I had a full length underquilt. I had the Dutch Ware Chameleon at the end of my hike, but I still had the same Hammock Gear tarp with doors. And so that's a section update and the gear that I'm using for my through hike.